Fabled Heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The storm hammered Bloodrock Manor, rain lashing the stone like 1,000 cold fingers. I slipped through the iron gates, my cloak drenched, heart thudding against my ribs. The scent of wet earth mingled with a faint, intoxicating musk that seemed to rise from the very walls, as if the manor itself breathed a secret perfume. Every step I took echoed on the flagstones, a hollow thud louder than the thunder rolling overhead. My boots squelched in shallow puddles, each splash a reminder that I was still moving, still alive. The chill of the night seeped through my cloak, curling around my spine like a phantom hand, yet beneath the cold a strange heat blossomed in my chest, a mixture of fear, anticipation, and a yearning I could not name. Inside, the great hall was dim, lit only by flickering torches that threw trembling shadows across the vaulted ceiling. The flames danced, casting amber pools that lapped at the stone columns, making the ancient walls seem to pulse with a life of their own. My breath came out in short, visible puffs, each one a reminder that I was alive, that I was still searching for Leora, the name that had haunted my thoughts since the night the prophecy was whispered to me. A low chuckle echoed from the darkness, resonant and smooth as dark wine. "You've finally come," a voice purred, its timbre wrapping around me like silk. Cale stepped forward, his dark hair slick with rain, eyes smoldering amber that seemed to hold a fire older than the storm outside. He brushed a hand against my cheek, the heat of his skin searing against my flushed face. "We were waiting for you," he whispered, his lips hovering just above my ear, the scent of his cologne rich, musky, with a hint of sandalwood, filling my nostrils. A shiver traveled down my spine, not from the cold but from the proximity of his breath. My mind raced, cataloging every detail, the way his jaw tightened when he smiled, the strength in his grip, the magnetic pull of his gaze. I felt the world narrow to the space between us, the storm outside fading to a distant roar. "The prophecy speaks of a heart that can bind the storm," Cale said, his voice low, reverent. "Only one who embraces both darkness and desire can unlock the hidden chamber where Leora lies." I swallowed hard, my throat suddenly dry. "And what of the shadows that guard it?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. He smiled, a dangerous curve. "We have allies in the night." From the far corner a shape shifted, tall, cloaked, eyes like obsidian. The fourth shadow, the one the ancient texts warned about, stepped into the torchlight. Hunger glinted in its gaze, far more dangerous than any desire I had ever known. Cale's hand tightened on my arm. "Stay close," he murmured. "Whatever comes, we face it together." The manor seemed to hold its breath as the storm outside reached a crescendo. I felt Cale's pulse against my skin, his warmth a promise against the cold. In that moment I understood the prophecy. Love was not just a shield, but a weapon. The door to the hidden chamber creaked open, revealing a darkness deeper than the night outside. With Cale at my side and the hungry shadow looming, I stepped forward, ready to claim the destiny that had called me here. The storm roared, the manor shivered, and the first whisper of ancient magic brushed my ear. "Begin." As we descended the winding staircase, the air grew thick with the scent of old parchment and something else, something sweet and cloying, like honey left to ferment in the dark. My fingers brushed against the cold stone wall, tracing the grooves of ancient runes that seemed to hum beneath my touch. Cale's presence at my back was both a comfort and a distraction, his breath warm against my neck as he leaned in to whisper, "The chamber is close." I nodded, though my heart raced with a mixture of excitement and dread. The prophecy had led me here, but what awaited me in the depths of Bloodrock Manor? Would I find Leora, or would I be consumed by the very darkness I sought to conquer? A sudden gust of wind extinguished the torches, plunging us into complete darkness. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. Cale's hand found mine in the dark, his fingers intertwining with mine in a gesture that was both protective and possessive. "Trust me," he murmured, his voice a low rumble in the darkness. "I won't let anything happen to you." I wanted to believe him, but the shadows seemed to press in around us, whispering secrets I couldn't quite understand. The scent of sandalwood grew stronger, mingling with the sweet, cloying aroma that filled the air. It was intoxicating, dizzying, and I found myself leaning into Cale's touch, craving the warmth of his body against mine. Suddenly, a soft glow illuminated the darkness ahead. I squinted, my eyes adjusting to the faint light. It was coming from a doorway, its frame carved with intricate symbols that seemed to shimmer and shift in the dim light. "The hidden chamber," Cale breathed, his voice filled with awe. "We've found it." I stepped forward, my heart pounding in my chest. The door creaked open, revealing a room bathed in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the room stood a pedestal, and atop it lay a book bound in dark leather, its pages yellowed with age. "The Book of Shadows," Cale whispered, his eyes wide with reverence, "the key to unlocking the prophecy." I reached out, my fingers trembling as they brushed against the cover. The moment I touched it, a surge of energy coursed through my body, setting my nerves alight. The room seemed to pulse with power, the very air crackling with magic. "It's time," Cale said, his voice filled with determination. "Together, we can unlock the secrets of the prophecy and find Leora." I nodded, my resolve hardening. With Cale by my side, I felt invincible. We were ready to face whatever darkness awaited us, to embrace the storm and claim our destiny. As we opened the book, the room erupted in a blinding flash of light. I closed my eyes, bracing myself for what was to come. When I opened them again, I found myself standing in a vast, open field, the sky above me a swirling mass of dark clouds. In the distance, I could see a figure standing alone, her hair whipping in the wind. It was Leora, her eyes filled with a mixture of fear and hope. "Leora," I called out, my voice echoing across the field. She turned, her face breaking into a smile as she recognized me. "You've come," she said, her voice filled with relief. "I knew you would." I rushed forward, Cale at my side, and threw my arms around Leora. She was real, solid, and alive. The prophecy had led me here, and now, with Leora in my arms, I knew that everything would be all right. As we stood there, the storm above us began to calm, the clouds parting to reveal a sky filled with stars. The darkness had been vanquished, and in its place, a new dawn was rising. I looked at Cale, his eyes filled with a mixture of pride and love. Together, we had faced the storm and emerged victorious. The prophecy had been fulfilled, and now, with Leora by our side, we were ready to face whatever the future held. As we walked away from the field hand in hand, I knew that this was only the beginning. The storm had passed, but the journey was far from over. With Cale and Leora by my side, I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, to embrace the darkness and the light, and to write our own destiny.